Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Wanderers Football Park, where the sun is shining, the skies are clear, and with a bit of a draft coming through now, there's ideal temperatures for an afternoon of football. My name's Cody Ojeda. Welcome to NPL Men's New South Wales action here today for a round 12 match between Western Sydney Wanderers Youth and SD Raiders. SD Raiders coming into this one more in form of the two sides today. 3 wins in their last 5. A heavy loss to Marconi Stallions, the only blip on their recent record. They will want their second away win of the season today against a Wanderers side who is looking to snap a 4-game winless run. The last time they saw 3 points was a 4-0 thumping of Sydney Olympic away from home, where A1 Luau ran riot. He is back in the side today, amongst a host of changes for the Western Sydney Wanderers, as we do go through the lineup. Start with the host, Tristan Vidakovic, ever present for Western Sydney Wanderers this season. He maintains his place in goals. In front of him, Noah Ovens, Ricky Franson. We're anticipating to be the 2 centre-backs today. Either side of them will be Jesse Cameron and Bradley Margell. A centre mid duo of Joshua Setnich and Oscar Morrison, with Lachlan Satut and Jai Rose, who recently signed a scholarship deal with the club, ahead of them. And a front 2 of A1 Luau and Harper Riles. For Southern Districts Raiders, meanwhile, it looks like a 5 at the back for them today. As you can see, the two sides are changing ends before we get this one started. Michael Figueroa retains his place in goals after a clean sheet last week against St. George FC. A back line of Charlie Ragg, James Letter, Lachlan McGrath, Ethan Bevan, and Cooper Hannigan, Thomas Macko and Lachlan Everett, the duo in midfield. And a front 3 of Martin Fernandez, Luka Knezovic, and Yakov Malbasha up top. Speaking of Michael Figueroa, we're just waiting for him to get himself into the net that he will be guarding for the first stanza of this match. And then we'll wait for the call of centre referee Charlotte Flynn. Joining her in the third team, Matthew McCorris on line 1, Aaronath Gobinath on line 2, and fourth official, Jackson Mackey. And Charlotte Flynn gives a signal, and SD Raiders get us underway, running from right to left on your screens here at Wanderers Football Park. An early ball forward, trying to get in behind this Wanderers defence early. They're able to put on some pressure. Wanderers do get the goal kick out of that. Charlie Ragg listed as a left back technically today, but I'm sure you can anticipate him pushing high up that left flank. Vidakovic urges his side forward. A1 Luau able to nod that on. Wanderers are going for the first clear-cut chance of the afternoon. SD Raiders doing well to clear that danger. The cross ball is straight to Jai Rose, who's quick to turn it into attack for Wanderers again. A1 Luau with space in the box. Can he get the shot away? He does. Tries to beat Figueroa at the near post. Unable to do so. SD Raiders once again able to clear the danger. Not for long though. Setnich with the cross. Headed away by SD Raiders. It will be a throw. Early pressure for the West Sydney Wanderers. SD Raiders able to clear again at the feet of Margell. Rose. Back to Margell. Looks inside the set niche. Morrison. Morrison, who does have the captain's armband for the West Sydney Wanderers today. Had a couple of recent features on the bench for the A-League side too. Yet to make his first team debut, however. But edging ever closer to it, of course. Jesse Cameron to get us restarted from the throw-in on the far touchline. Some great defensive work there from Thomas Macko. Ball's cleared by SD Raiders, and it'll be an easy one to collect for the Wanderers. Noah Ovens utilises his goalkeeper. Now to the right-hand side where Marjal is able to receive. Bradley Marjal. Back to Ovens. Ovens chooses to go right. Had options in the centre as well, and the long ball finds the feet of A1 Lua. A1 Lua in behind the SD Raiders defence, goes around to Figueroa. No, he doesn't. That is an excellent save from the SD Raiders shot stopper. Advantage opportunity for Raiders now. Malbasha. Fernandez. One-on-one with Marjal. Hernandez. Switch of play in search of Hannigan. Able to collect it. Crossing opportunity now for Raiders. Aims to the near post and it's straight into the gloves of Tristan Vidakovic. For SD Raiders, it was advertised as a 5 at the back for today, but especially when they're in that attacking phase. Charlie Ragg is pushing right up that left-hand side, allowing Martin Fernandez to get himself closer to goal. Train themselves almost in a 4-4-2. Franson on the ball for Wanderers. Vidakovic. Long ball forward from Ovens. Headed away. Ragg on the ball again. Mako. Letta, the captain's armband for SD Raiders. Long-standing player at the club too. McGrath, back to Letta. Rose applying pressure for the Wanderers. A long ball forward from Figueroa. Trying to find Knezovic. He does find Knezovic. Knezovic is in behind now, has options waiting in the middle. The cutback only finds the feet of Ovens. Ricky Franson trying to use his tall figure to win that individual battle. Clears the danger momentarily, but it is a corner. Charlie Ragg will go to the opposite flank to deliver this one in. Outswinger for SD Raiders. Only goes to the near post. So you get the shot away. Vidakovic off well off his line. A little bit displeased with his back line there as well. Another corner for SD Raiders. Another one at the near post. Headed away. Rose trying to get on the end of that clearance, and Ethan Baven returns fire. The shot's wayward, and Wanderers have us restarted quickly. Ovens to his centre back partner Franson. Cameron now. Can't keep control of the ball under pressure, and SD Raiders have the chance to launch an attack of their own. They'll choose patience. McGrath. Presses high for the Wanderers. Forces Figueroa along. Ragg's able to keep it in, only momentarily though. It's a long throw from Marjal. A1 Lua believes is pulled back by Lachlan McGrath. Referee Charlotte Flynn happy to wave play on. McGrath looking for Malbasha. Everett with the switch of play, which is picked up by Marjal. Pedakovic trying to get the ball over the top in search of gyros. Picked up momentarily by Raiders, but A1 Luau, always dangerous when he's on the ball. He gets himself in behind. A1 Luau has a chance to shoot, does so. It's deflected away, and Figueroa makes sure there is no set-piece opportunity for the hosts. Leder to Rag. Plays a 1-2 with Fernandez. Rag gets himself in behind Marjal. Cuts inside. Forward ball in search of Mabasha. It's picked up by the Wanderers. Rose pickpocketed by Fernandez. Not for long though. Marjal able to win the ball back for the Wanderers. Forced backwards momentarily by Rag. Wanderers will try their luck on the left-hand side. Franson goes back through the middle. Ovens. Morrison dropping in between his two centre-backs. Satut trying to play a ball over the top for the on-running Jesse Cameron. Didn't get the connection on that he would have liked. SD Raiders turn for the switch of play. Rag. To Mako. Back to Leder. Both sides clear-cut chances for the home side in the last 15 minutes or so. Saying that, SD Raiders have had their troubles going forward as well this afternoon. Can that change here? Mabasha. Backwards to Baven. Knezovic picks it up. Fernandez on the ball now. Fernandez cutting in on his right. To Mako. Back to Fernandez. To the left-hand side where Rag is able to receive. Raiders are forced backwards. McGrath. To Leder. Wanderers well structured in their defensive shape. And now SD Raiders are able to beat it. Fernandez on the edge of the box. Will he go to shoot? Can't quite get control of the ball. Back to Rag. Rag delivers. And Vidakovic is able to claim that one well. Raiders happy to sit off again. Long ball forward from Vidakovic. Satut trying to bring this one down. Does so. Under pressure from Hannigan though. Raiders able to turn the ball over. A full long. Back with Wanderers. Riles. To Rose. Lovely turn by Rose. And he gets Luau. Luau on the edge of the box. A1 Luau shapes to shoot. That's just over. That's Luau's best chance of the afternoon since his opening goal. Can't direct the shot on target, but was struck with such venom. It's a dangerous outlet for the host today. Lovely turn from Rag. Ovens strong at the back. SD Raiders able to turn it over. Leder getting himself forward. Fernandez on the ball. Utilises his captain. Back to Fernandez. Now Mabasha. Mabasha shoots. Just wide. It looks like it did take a deflection on its way to goal. SD Raiders get the corner. Charlie Rag taking his time to get over to the far side of the pitch. Just over 30 minutes gone here at Wanderers Football Park. Wanderers lead 1-0 thanks to A1 Lual in the 11th minute. A rather fortuitous opportunity for the Wanderers striker. Thanks to some brilliance from Jai Rose. Speaking of A1 Lual, he's the one to clear the ball off that corner. Hannigan sends the ball straight back the other way. Francis clears. Satut thought he had the advantage, but it's a quick free kick for the Wanderers. Jai Rose trying to get A1 Lual behind. Figuera expertly off his line. Knezovic finds Mabasha. To Rag. Rag trying to get Mabasha in behind. Finds the feet of Mabasha. Mabasha needed a little bit more support there from his fellow forward line. Jai Rose still down, clutching at his head. Referee happy to play this one on. And Franson makes sure we need to stop play. Jai Rose clearly displeased with the fact that he wasn't able to get some attention. Demonstrating with the referee, Charlotte Flynn having none of it. Now Noah Ovens is also down for West Sydney Wanderers. Bradley Marjal further asked the question of the referee why play wasn't stopped sooner. Now Thomas Mako comes over to join the conversation. Bradley Marjal, former SD Raiders player as well. Moved over to Western City Wanderers this year from the Raiders youth setup. First time he gets to play against his former club. The Raiders may have thought they had a chance for possession there, but will be pulled back for a free kick, and Marty Fernandez. So one down. Looks as though he's been winded. He's clutching at his ribs. Charlotte Flynn doing well so far to keep a lid on temperatures. Both sides relatively low on the NPL New South Wales ladder. 3 points for either side today. It'll be a big one. Knezovic delivers. And almost directed in there from Lachlan McGrath. Tristan Vidakovic unable to do much about that. McGrath given plenty of space to try and direct the ball goalwards from point blank range. Make no mistake, it would have done well to be able to do so on the turn. And if that is directed goalwards, I'm not sure there was much Vidakovic could have done about that one. Last touch off Harper Riles there for Western Sydney Wanderers. It'll be a Raiders throw. It's a long throw for SD Raiders, and Fernandez just being a bit overtly physical on Ricky Franson there. Almost needlessly gives away a free kick. Wanderers go backwards with it. Franson back on the ball. Knezovic is providing pressure there, almost able to turn the ball over, and may just be able to pick up the loose ball here for SD Raiders. He does so. Fernandez trying to work his way into the box. As the ball goes over the touchline. Last touch does come off the Raiders winger. Marty Fernandez, who did spend a season with the Wanderers youth setup. Otherwise, most of his junior football was spent at Marconi Stallions. Moved over to SD Raiders this season from Blacktown City, however, after 2 seasons there. Free kick for Wanderers now, which Dry Rose was hoping it could play quickly. Still chooses to play short. A1 Luau covers his right flank position, and he'll receive the ball. Luau, one-on-one with Rag. Goes backwards to Ovens. To Franson. Back to Ovens. Fernandez trying to apply some pressure to Ovens on the ball. Marjal. Wanderers trying to work their way to the left-hand side. I'll go backwards now. Vidakovic to Marjal. Rose trying to get himself around Leder. Forces a deflection, which means his side do get a throw. And it's a long throw in search of Harper Riles. Riles, one-on-one with Baven. Can use Dry Rose. Dry Rose on the edge of the box. Cuts onto his right. Flick pass in search of Riles. Happy to hold it into the corner. Back to Rose. Morrison. Setnich. Cameron. Wanderers forced backwards. To Marjal. Morrison. Long diagonal ball to Satut. Satut trying to deliver from left-hand side for the Wanderers. Does so on the second attempt. Rose surrounded by 3 Raiders shirts. Able to get himself into space. He can't get the forward pass off. And Setnich on the volley. Spins off the side of the boot, but Lual's able to collect the loose ball. Lual to Morrison. Morrison on his left. Deflected away. Fernandez unable to get the ball out of Raiders' defensive third. Now Raiders are able to do so. Malbasha forces Franson over the far sideline. Throwing goes backwards for Raiders. Everett. Back to Baven. To McGrath. Letter. Figueroa under pressure from Lual. Chooses to go long. Cameron sends the ball back the other way. Only to the feet of Knezovic. Knezovic. Ball to Rag is short. SD Raiders are able to pick it back up in the middle. Mako trying to work his way through a crowded area. Wanderers able to win the ball back just before it enters their defensive third. Setnich. Almost doing well under pressure there. Wins inside the foul. Referee judges that to have been a push on Setnich. Mako not happy with that at all. Referee forcing Wanderers to restart that, saying ball wasn't stopped dead. Didn't look like it was stopped dead either when play was restarted. Wanderers forced backwards. Ovens is looking for a long ball to Rose, who in turn had come short. Figueroa. Baven. Rolls, providing pressure for the Wanderers. Grath forced to go back to his goalkeeper. Baven. Looks long for Malbasha. Malbasha trying to flick it onto Fernandez. Wanderers turn the ball over in the centre of the park. Morrison. Morrison receives the ball back from Marjal. Setnich. Can't quite get control of the ball there. Figueroa clears the danger. In search of Malbasha, who has been a thorn in the side of this Wanderers backline so far this afternoon. The clearance is expertly brought down by Lual there. Satut has a chance to run at Everett. Satut gets a pass off to Rose. Letter stops the danger momentarily. Cameron. Satut. Satut from distance. That's just over there from Lachlan Satut. Wanderers happy to sit off this time. Grath trying to step the ball out of his back line. Goes towards the right-hand side to Baven. Everett will get a ball to Fernandez. Bundled over by Hannigan. Long throw for Lual. Under pressure from McGrath. Goes backwards to Satut. Has Setnich nearby. Cameron on the overlap. Cameron. His delivery cut out by Hannigan. Another throw in for Wanderers. Riles. Forced back to Marjal. Plenty of green shirts in front of Marjal. Has to go sideways to Morrison. Wanderers will try the left-hand side. Satut. Satut Gets himself in behind, looking for the ball to Luau. Letter does well to shield the ball away from danger. We're thrown for Raiders. Rag takes quickly. Sees the ball back from Letter. Franson trying to get a headed clearance towards Luau. Raiders able to pick it up. Chance for Raiders to burst forward. Delivery comes in search of Rag. Rag brings the ball down. Trying to get it to the feet of Knezovic. Wanderers clear the danger, and it's Rose who slows down on the ball momentarily as he waits for support. Tries to get himself in behind. Mako bundles him over. And it looks like we'll have our first booking of the afternoon. Mako clearly unhappy with the call there, but I don't know if there can be too many arguments about that one. Gyros did have him beat. Wanderers did take their free kick short. Now will be a chance for them to get in behind on this right-hand side. Marshall trying to get the better of Rag. Can't get the better of Rag, but he can get the throw in for his side. Morrison wants it quickly. Marshall will take his time. Cleared away by McGrath. Knezovic can't quite bring it down there. Chance for Wanderers on the ball again. Marjal. Wanderers forced backwards. Franson on the ball now for the hosts. To Cameron. Morrison able to turn on the ball. Long ball in search of Riles. It's headed away, but Lachlan Satut can regather it. And it's a poor pass backwards from Satut. Fernandez almost able to get on the end of the loose ball. One of his back line able to rescue possession. Fedakovic with another long ball forward. Gyros picks up the second ball. Gyros can't get himself around Baven. Baven to Malbasha. Malbasha's onside. Rag to Knezovic. Knezovic gets himself around Marjal. Knezovic cuts the ball in, but there's no one there able to get on the end of it for Raiders. Hannigan's on the opposite flank. He'll deliver this time. And it deflects off Satut for a throw-in. Sets the far linesman. That's Matthew McCorris. On that far sideline. Knezovic on the ball again for SD Raiders. Cross comes in. Cleared away by Wanderers. Only momentarily. Everett on the edge. Brought down on the edge of the box. It's a free kick in a dangerous spot for SD Raiders. And that'll be Wanderers' first booking of the afternoon. And Jesse Cameron can't really have too many complaints about that one either. Clear attempt to bring down the player rather than the ball. Everett's a little bit worse for wear. So with Fernandez over this one for SD Raiders. Has it in his locker to score from these kinds of positions. An excellent strike with the ball, Fernandez is. Can he create something for Raiders on the stroke of half-time? He does! That is an excellent free kick from Martin Fernandez. And as we approach half-time, SD Raiders have equalised. And it looks like that will indeed be the last play of the half. With the last kick of the first stanza of this one, Martin Fernandez equalises it for SD Raiders. We go to the break. West Sydney Wanderers 1 thanks to an A1 Luau goal in the 11th minute. SD Raiders 1 thanks to an expertly placed Martin Fernandez free kick. And we'll be back right after this. Welcome back to Wanderers Football Park for round 12 action in the NPL New South Wales men's competition between Western Sydney Wanderers and SD Raiders. If you're just joining us, it is 1-1 thanks to a late equaliser at the end of the first half from Martin Fernandez from the free kick for SD Raiders. Scoring today was opened by A1 Lual in the 11th minute. Tap in from point blank range after an expert bit of skill from Jai Rose. SD Raiders with momentum going into the second half thanks to a flash of brilliance at the end of the first. And as we move into the second half, looks like we will have one change for Western Sydney Wanderers as Alat Abdul Rahman takes the place of, I believe, Lachlan Satut. Confirmation that is Lachlan Satut that's come off. Unchanged 11 for SD Raiders as we get underway here at Wanderers Football Park for the second half of this NPL New South Wales match. For SD Raiders, they've got Mihail Marcic, Matthew Lee, Riley Cox-Barlow, Seb Malfara, Jonathan Sabachu, and Robert Eramugo to call on should they need to. Meanwhile, for the Wanderers, Oscar Moore, Rocco McNamara, Tristan Arate, Johnny Pavlovic, and Julian Chop are left as the options to come off the bench. Just a reminder, it is 1-1 here between the two sides as Harper Riles trying to find his way in behind. Harper McGrath doing well to withstand the pressure there. Heavy touch from Hannigan. Under pressure from Rose. He's able to find Baven. Basha. A little bit too far forward for Knezovic's liking. Sun slowly starting to set here in Blacktown. You can see Jesse Cameron on the near side struggling with the sunlight a little bit. Unfortunately, it's only going to get worse for the players. It's a poor pass from Vidakovic. Knezovic is able to pick it up. He's 1-on-1 with Franson. Marbasha's in the middle. He looks for Marbasha. Fernandez is able to get on the end of it. And it's two for SD Raiders. Martin Fernandez with a break on either side of the break. And SD Raiders, who spent so much of this match behind, only 2 minutes into the second half, now find themselves ahead. That is not the start that Western Sydney Wanderers were hoping for from this half. Work to do now for the hosts, who looked like they were going to snap a 4-game winless run. And in about 3 minutes of play, obviously discounting the 15 minutes we had to break for half time, now got work to do just to get themselves back into this match. Ovens, under pressure from Malbasha. SD Raiders now playing with a spring in their step. Deservedly so, doing the hard work to get themselves back into this. Speaking of SD Raiders, they do get a free kick on the halfway line on the far side. Baven. Long ball in search of Hannigan. Brought down by Cameron. Setnich. To the feet of Luau. Luau out wide to Abdul Rahman. Overlapping run from Marjal. Plays Alat Abdul Rahman in behind. Cross comes in. It's deflected away by Letta. It'll be a throw. Knezovic able to clear for the away side as they try and hold on to this lead. Wanderers create something here. Riles. Pickpocketed. Only momentarily, but SD Raiders do now, or at least momentarily, had possession. Clearance from Figuera. Straight to the Wanderers back line. Ovens. Franson. As I mentioned a bit earlier, the sunlight is going to have an impact on proceedings in the second half, and Michael Figuera has adapted. Hats come out for the second half of this one. Malbasha lighting pressure for Wanderers, and it looks like it will be a pass back. Referee not agreeing with the calls coming from players and fans alike for SD Raiders, as well as their bench. Wanderers have a chance to go forward now. Riles. Cross comes in. It's a loose ball. Raiders are able to work it out of their defensive third. Leder. Mako. Everett. Switch of play to McGrath. Knezovic dropping deep to receive it. Hannigan pushed right up that right-hand flank. Has McGrath in support. Chooses across. And it's Fernandez for his hat-trick. Well saved by Vidakovic. There'll be no complaints about him claiming that one. Morrison. Square ball to Setnich. We'll go to the right-hand flank for the Wanderers. Luel's in behind. Riles is making a run in the box. Riles tries to flick it in. It's dealt with well by Raiders. Now they're able to hold on to the ball comfortably. Everett. Back to Hannigan. Everett, who's pushed right to right-hand side for SD Raiders. Looks like there is a slight change of shape. Charlie Ragg, who through most of this one has almost pushed into a left wing position. It's looking as if that was going to be his permanent spot, but he's just moved back into that left back role. But it looks like Lukas Knezovic is the right wing back for SD Raiders now. Cross comes in. Riles to Abdul Rahman. Abdul Rahman finds space for shot. Rose does it. Straight into the chest of Michael Figuera. That would have been some hit from Jai Rose. The Wanderers want to work their way back into this one. I feel the youngster is going to be central to it. He's been involved in everything good for the Wanderers so far today. Hannigan controversially goes forward for SD Raiders. Complaints for Wanderers, waved away by the referee. Fernandez, back to Hannigan. Cross comes in, and it's just over the bar from Malbasha. Lovely little play there from SD Raiders, who are really growing into this one. Just over 8 minutes gone, second half so far. Wanderers have already gone to their bench today. I wonder how long it'll be before they do again. Setnich. To Cameron. Cameron back to Morrison. Luau dropping deep to receive. Goes back to Morrison. Marjal. To Abdurrahman. Wanderers trying to find a way to this resolute SD Raiders setup. It's Franson the one that can unlock it. Goes out left to Cameron. Cameron cutting in on his right. Setnich. To Ovens. Rose. Jai Rose. Trying to dart his way into the box. Well defended there by Rag. Wanderers have to go backwards. Franson. Morrison tries to get Cameron in behind, but the pass is slightly overhit, and it will be pulled up for offside regardless. Taken short by Raiders. Knezovic. So I was saying earlier, it looks like Knezovic is occupying more of a right wing-back role. Perhaps momentarily as Knezovic pushes on this Wanderers backline now. Was hoping for the over-the-top ball from Mako. Unfortunately for Knezovic, it didn't come. Wanderers back on the ball. Marjal. Abdurrahman. Well defended by Mako. Nice turn by Mako, who's trying to get Malbasha in behind, but pass is almost into no man's land. Malbasha with a light press. Vidakovic. To Marjal. Marjal trying to find Luel. Cut out by Letta. The long throw sees Riles get in behind. Riles looking for an option. Goes backwards to Morrison. Setnich. Franson. Pass from Franson shorter than what he would have liked. Knezovic able to cut it out momentarily. Knezovic, another one in this SD Raiders side who spent time in the Wanderers system. Joined halfway through last season. He did for SD Raiders. Say, push for promotion to the NPL in New South Wales. Proved to be a shrewd signing for the club and an integral part of that run. Now in his first full season for the club. Abdurrahman. Cross comes deep. Trying to find Riles. Cross comes in again for Wanderers. Deflected away by SD Raiders, and they're able to clear momentarily. Fernandez gets on the loose ball, and referee signals for a free kick, and referee Charlotte Flynn obliges. Jai Rose now with a set-piece opportunity. And what you'd have to imagine is more of a crossing position. Stranger things have happened, of course. Jai Rose over this one for Western Sydney Wanderers. Delivery comes in, headed away. Only to Setnich, who sends the ball back into the box. It's ping-ponged around a little bit, but SD Raiders will be able to work their way out of danger. Setnich gathers the clearance. Franson stayed up. Hannigan trying to find Baven. Baven looking for Malbasha with a long ball. Vidakovic under pressure from Malbasha. Malbasha still providing pressure for Vidakovic, who can't find a pass, forced to clear it out for a throw. That press from SD Raiders in the second half It's improved tenfold. Not the first moment Wanderers have had in the second half where they've panicked in a way under pressure. SD Raiders sifting the ball around Wanderers Football Park. Knezovic plays the ball forward for Cooper Hannigan. Hannigan goes for goal himself. Deflected away by Franson. Knezovic collects a loose ball. Goes backwards to Everett. Mako. Expert tackle there from Ricky Franson. Riles. Switch of play to Abdul Rahman. Luell. Trying to get behind this SD Raiders back line. Left with no support. Tries to go backwards to Morrison. It's cut out by Mako. Morrison wins the ball back immediately. Setnich to Riles. Riles shoots. Figueroa saves. Leda doing his best to make sure it doesn't go out for a corner. Unfortunately for him, he was second too late there. Gyros quickly over to get this one restarted. Setnich the short option. Lachlan Everett testing how close he can get to the set piece. Plays short to Setnich, back to Rose. On the edge for Abdul Rahman. SD Raiders, anywhere will do. Just ticked over the hour mark, here at Wanderers Football Park. SD Raiders still lead 2-1 thanks to a Martin Fernandez brace. And in reply to that, Wanderers are preparing a double substitution. Confirm one of those players looks to be Julian Chott. It'll be his first appearance off the bench this season for the Wanderers. Every other match he's played in, he started. Wanderers trying to work a way through the two defensive lines for SD Raiders. Have to go backwards. Franson. Morrison's able to turn. Finds Abdul Rahman. Abdul Rahman. Shot comes from an angle. That one's over the bar, and it will be the substitutions now for West Sydney Wanderers, and looks like a double substitution possibly as well for SD Raiders. Joshua Setnich will make way for Julian Chott. And it looks like Jai Rose, interestingly enough, will come off for Wanderers. Now Basha and Thomas Mako, the ones to make way for SD Raiders. Just to confirm the ones coming on, it's Tristan Arate for West Sydney Wanderers. And for SD Raiders, Riley Cox-Barlow and Seb Malfara. Wanderers win a free kick at the edge of their defensive third. Sorry, SD Raiders win a free kick at the edge of their defensive third. Baven to Everett. He's hoping for the 1-2 with Hannigan, pickpocketed by Cameron. Riles, still Riles. It's well defended there by Raiders. A chance now for the counter-attack. Knezovic, one-on-one with Cameron. Cameron forces the ball backwards, but he gives away a throw. Seb Malfara has just come off for SD Raiders, another long-standing player at the club, alongside James Leder. Joined the first grade side in 2018. Both him and Leder have seen the rise of this club from the third tier to the first tier of New South Wales football. One thing that SD Raiders do deserve a lot of credit for is their long-term squad building. Actually, several of these players at the club for longer than 2 years. Knezovic. Deflected cross goes back to Hannigan. Cameron able to get in front of the second attempt. Everett. Knezovic. To Hannigan. Hannigan trying to get the cross in, does so. That's a simple one for Vidakovic to collect. Quick throw from Vidakovic to Abdul Rahman. Backwards to Marjal. Wanderers will exercise patience in their defensive third. Marjal has Abdul Rahman ahead of him. That's the option he utilises, and that's a late challenge there from Charlie Ragg, who has been defensively astute this afternoon. Abdul Rahman almost getting the better of him at that occasion. And despite the scoreline, Wanderers probably seeing a little bit more of the ball and having the better of the chances so far this afternoon, or at least the territory in the opposing half. Right now being undone by a Marty Fernandez special. Cross comes in from Arate. Raiders able to clear away, not well though. Everett. Clearance in search of Fernandez. Fernandez can't get himself past Marjal. Now Farah. Diagonal pass to Hannigan. Hannigan goes backwards to McGrath. Baven. Long ball from Baven in search of Hannigan. Hannigan just can't quite bring it down there though. Given the benefit of the doubt, the sun is starting to become quite blinding. The more time the ball spends in the air today, the harder it is going to be for players on the field to really see it. Julian Chop trying to get an angled ball to Abdul Rahman. That one's unfortunately placed behind him. Not the best of passes sideways to Bevan. Forced right into his corner. Fine Cox Barlow. Aflondo, Franson. Lovely through ball to Abdul Rahman. And whether that was a cross or a shot, A1 Luai was lurking, ready to pounce, but unfortunately it was just a step away from where he was running onto. Michael Figuera happy to take his time with the restart. No questions yet from the referee. SD Raiders pushing themselves forward now for the long ball. Goal kick finally comes. Cox Barlow wins that aerial duel with Franson. Ball still in the air. Fernandez getting himself up now. Fernandez is the one that can bring it down. Finds Hannigan. Hannigan under pressure from Arate. It's forced backwards and Wanderers are able to turn the ball over. Under pressure from Luka Knezovic. Jesse Cameron gives away the corner, and a little celebration there from Knezovic. Shows how much this game means for SD Raiders. It'll be 2 wins in a row for the side for the second time this season after their consecutive victories against Manly United and Blacktown City. And second one, Blacktown City also an away victory. They're only one of the season so far. And it'll be another double substitution for SD Raiders as their 2 wingers, Marty Fernandez and Luka Knezovic, make way in their place. So we just await confirmation on who'll come on. It is Mihail Marcic. And Robert Aramugo, who's already in the thick of it. Getting physical with his marker. Cross comes in for SD Raiders. That header won't trouble the goal of Tristan Vidakovic. Chop able to turn on the ball. Goes sideways to Marjal. Ovens. To Arate. Cameron's made the overlapping run, but Arate will go backwards. Ovens. To Abdul Rahman. Couple step overs from Abdul Rahman. Finds the feet of Luel. It goes back to Chop. Franson. To Cameron. Back to Franson. Ovens. Marjal now. Marjal will find the forward pass. Luel plays Chop in behind. Cross comes in. Riles is there. That's just gone over him. A return ball from Cameron. Couldn't find the head of Arate. Figueroa out to claim it, and it's been left a little bit worse for wear. Looks like it will be a free kick for SD Raiders following that. No need for anyone to come off the bench though to provide treatment. Figueroa will get us restarted with a free kick. The hat's come off now, but the issue of the sun still lingering. Morrison tries to clear. Abdurrahman able to get the loose ball. Then Ovens able to get the clearance. Chop. It's looking for a return pass to Marjal. Didn't find the feet of Marjal, but that's because he was fouled by Aramugo. Morrison. Poor touch from Arate. Nice tackle from Hannigan. SD Raiders are on the charge now. Cameron chasing. Trying to use his hands a little bit. Hannigan still going. Can't find the feet of Aramugo though. Aramugo collects the loose ball. Everett now. To Malfara. Marcic. Backwards to Baven. All the way back to their goalkeeper. I'll try down the left-hand side now. Letta trying to get around Abdurrahman. Unable to do so, and it gives away a throw for Wanderers. If SD Raiders can see this result out, it'll be their first victory against Western Sydney Wanderers in a league match. Turnover in midfield. Julian Chott losing the ball to McGrath. Chance now for SD Raiders to get in behind, so poor touch from Marcic. Clearance picked up by Baven. Hannigan. Long diagonal ball for Eramugo. Nice hit behind. In quickly from Wanderers. Just over 15 minutes to go on this one. SD Raiders still 2-1 to the good, thanks to a Martin Fernandez double, who has made way today. Long ball in search of Abdul Rahman, only finds Figuera. Player down for SD Raiders. Cooper Hannigan looked like he was clutching at his knee. Referee Charlotte Flynn will wave SD Raiders physio on. So if you are just joining us, SD Raiders are 2-1 to the good thanks to a Marty Fernandez double. Wanderers were the ones that opened the scoring today through A1 Luau. Fortuitous effort after some brilliant work from Jai Rose. From here, it looks like an ankle issue. Cooper Hannigan. Michael Figuera coming out to get his own refreshments, as the majority of both sides make their way to their respective benches to do the same. Both sides still have moves off the bench up their sleeve. Raiders will have another opportunity to go to the bench. The Wanderers will have two. Doesn't look like anyone will be coming on to replace Hannigan, which means he must be fit to continue. Just wait for the referee to say so. We'll wait for Charlotte Flynn to signal to get us restarted. She does so, and Abdul Rahman sends the ball back to the SD Raiders goalkeeper. Figuera urges side forward. And we'll want a third one to try and see this out. Abdul Rahman on the loose ball. Trot finds Luau. Luau to Abdul Rahman. Abdul Rahman darting into the box. Abdul Rahman trying to get the cut back away. It's well defended by Raiders. Switch of play almost picked up by the Wanderers there. They do pick it up in the middle through Morrison. Looks like Rocco McNamara has also made his way onto the pitch with Jesse Cameron in that stoppage. Made his way on for Bradley Margell, just Cameron switched to the other flank. Ovens. Chop. Goes backwards to Morrison. Abdul Rahman, who's dropped deeper than what he probably would like. Able to get past Eramogu. Cameron on the flank of his stronger foot. Cross comes in. Danger's not dealt with by SD Raiders. Now it is. And he finds Cox Barlow with a clearance. Marcic can't get past Franson. McNamara to Arate. Nice little turn from Morrison to a centre mid partner Chop. Cameron. Options forward for the Wanderers. Utilises Abdul Rahman. Abdul Rahman goes for goal. That's well tipped over by Figuera. Won't get a second consecutive clean sheet today. But if SD Raiders are able to see out this result, he's going to be a big part of the reason why. Tristan Arate with the corner on the near side for the Wanderers. Arate delivers. That's over everyone and straight up for a goal kick. Figueroa looked a bit shaky with that one. Fortunately for him, that one was coming from the opposite end to where the sun's shining. Figueroa taking his time with the goal kick again and urging his side forward. He'll want the ball as far away from his goal as possible. Wanderers continuing to throw everything at this match to try and find a way back in, even to rescue a point possibly. Tug on the shirt from Cox Barlow. Ovens is able to continue. Chop. Helps Wanderers play out of danger. McNamara. Back to Morrison. Long ball over the top from Morrison. Doesn't go as far as what he would have liked. Baven able to collect that one. Cox Barlow trying to nod Aaron Moore going behind. Cameron now. Outside of the foot pass. Doesn't eventually find the feet of Abdurrahman. SD Raiders doing well to deal with that danger. Everett trying to work his way out of the press in midfield. Can't do so. Wanderers have it back. Chop. Able to turn. Can't get a ball in behind. Malfara. Long ball over the top in search of Cox Barlow. Franson goes to his keeper. Vidakovic able to deal with that one. It wasn't the easiest of balls. McNamara to Morrison. Ovens takes the ball into his attacking half. Cameron trying to get Abdul Rahman in behind. SD Raiders once again doing well at the back. Franson. Less than 10 minutes of regular time here at Wanderers Football Park. Wanderers still trying to find a way back into this one. Only the one victory at home for the side this season. And of all the games for it to come in, it was a 4-0 demolition of Sydney FC. Cross comes in. Riles is on the end of it. But that one's almost cut back, trying to find a teammate. Cleared away by SD Raiders. Aaron Mugo doing well under pressure from Cameron. Trying to get the pass to Cox Barlow. It's cut out. Wanderers had the chance to return fire. McNamara has to go backwards. Goes to Morrison. To Luau. Back to Ovens. Morrison. Four players forward for the Wanderers, almost in a line up against this SD Raiders back line. Franson trying to find one of those. Can he reach Abdul Rahman? Cleared away by Rag. Marcic to Hannigan. Held up by Arate. It's out for an SD Raiders throw. SD Raiders able to buy themselves as much seconds as they can. Trying to see this one out. Franson clears. There'll be another chance for the Raiders to slow the game down. Vidakovic doing well off his line. McNamara. It's a bit of a tussle on the ball there. As on the floor. McNamara almost kicked in the back of the head there by Hannigan. Referee says it's all ball. It will be a throw. Hannigan cheekily asking if time needs to be slowed down for McNamara to receive a treatment for a knock to the head. Back in for SD Raiders. McGrath. Across to Letta. Press coming from the Wanderers now. Figueroa forced to clear. Nice touch from Hannigan to bring the ball down. He'll launch the ball forward himself. Cox-Barlow, can he beat Vidakovic to it? No, he can't. Not sure if that thud came through on the effects mic, but that clearance has landed on top of the awning here. Cooper Hannigan cheekily trying to both run down the clock and maybe frustrate this young Wanderers side a little bit. Get us restarted. Macic almost doing well under pressure there. Morrison and Franson proving too much in that instance. Maybe another chance for Hannigan to slow the game down. This one coming in a little bit quicker than the last scorings. Maybe not. Alfaro. Hannigan. Still stuck in that corner. From Alfaro. Alfaro almost properly taking it into that corner. Decides against it and tries to get across him, but it's cleared away. Wanderers can't get the second ball though. SD Raiders back with possession. Figueira clears. That's an excellent leap from Eramugu. We're pulled up for offside. Frustrations verbalised by the SD Raiders support. Wanderers restarting quickly. Cameron, strong on the ball there. Finds Lual in behind, a little bit wider than what Wanderers would like. Abdul Rahman. Chop. To Morrison. Morrison back to Chop. It's behind its intended target. Franson. Less than 4 minutes to go. Regulation time. McNamara back to Franson. Franson looking for Arate. Finds Arate. Cross comes in looking for Abdul Rahman. It's headed over the young forward. SD Raiders almost looking to clear. A bit shaky at the back for a moment, but Led is able to clear the danger. Chop chasing that one down. Forward ball for Abdul Rahman. Only finds Rag. Cox-Barlow falls backwards to Everett. Trying to get Eramugu in behind. The last substitution for SD Raiders about to come. As well as for the Sydney Wanderers, it'll be Harper Riles to make way for the hosts. Lachlan Everett will come off for the away side. Johnny Pavlovich, the youngster for this Wanderers side, take his place up top, and it's Matthew Lee coming on for SD Raiders. Both coaches have had all their rolls of the dice from the bench. If Wanderers want a way back into this one, it'll all be on the shoulders of those who take the field now. Cross comes in for Wanderers. Looking at Pavlovich, trying to get his first touch of the match. Figueira, well off his line. It's not the best clearance from Figueira. Truth be told, it's not the best clearance from Alfaro either. SD Raiders continue with possession though. Not for long. Arate. Cut out by Hannigan. Hannigan. Held back momentarily by Wanderers player. And Hannigan will get in the face of Morrison. Just a bit of frustration there after being fouled. There's been a few moments in this match where tempers have threatened to boil over, but Charlotte Flynn's done a good job, you have to say, of keeping a lid on things. Franson trying to clear it with his head. Cox-Barlow stuck in the corner. Deflects the ball off Franson. It'll be a throw-in for SD Raiders. Approaching the final minute of regulation time. And if my eyes serve me correctly in the sun, I believe maybe 6 minutes of time added on. I'll wait for confirmation of that though. Hannigan. Marcic. Back to Hannigan. Lee, his first touches of the afternoon. Long ball over the top from Baven. Cleared away by Franson. Chop. Finds Abdul-Rahman. Utilises Cameron. Long ball from Cameron. Trying to find Luell. McGrath. It's the first touch on it. Is able to get it out of the path of Luell. Danger's not cleared. And it's going to be a corner for Western Sydney Wanderers. Plenty of players forward for the hosts. Tristan Arato will go to the far side to take the corner. And every outfield player is in the Wanderers attacking third. Chop and McNamara on the edge of the box for Wanderers. Ball comes into the near post, cleared away almost with ease by SD Raiders. SD Raiders was a tough start to life in the NPL. In the last few weeks, definitely been able to make the best of it as Wanderers have the chance to equalise here. Francis' shot deflected away. SD Raiders will have the chance to let's try and move the ball from danger. It's going to be a Wanderers throw. SD Raiders doing their best to make sure Wanderers can't take it quickly. Wanderers get us restarted. Abdul-Rahman coming over to the left-hand side. Cross comes in from Abdul-Rahman. Franson stayed high after the corner. Can't quite find the head of Franson. It was a lovely ball in. Now Abdul-Rahman takes his spot on the right flank. Eramugo down a little bit worse for wear for SD Raiders. Figuera, maybe as a way to run down the clock a little bit, is making sure his teammate's okay. Eramugo's back on his feet. And Figuera setting up the goal kick. Time is running out for West Sydney Wanderers if they want to take something from this match. Cameron. Ball's cleared forward. Headed away by McGrath. Headed back the other way. Arate. Pavlovic. Can't find a teammate. And Eramugo trying to get on the end of this. Eramugo, one-on-one with Ovens. Eramugo gets a shot off. Deflected well by Ovens. Back with SD Raiders though. Rag. Cross comes in from Rag. And deflection there as Magic tries to get something on the end of it. It deflects its way to Vidakovic, but it's an easy one for him to claim. Chop. Back to Franson. It's McNamara. Time needs to be now for West Sydney Wanderers. Cameron. Looking for Luell. One-on-one with Letta. Luell forced backwards. Has Chop on the edge of the box. Goes all the way back to Franson. SD Raiders clinging on for 3 points. Chop. Pavlovic. Abdul-Rahman. Forced backwards again. Morrison. Ovens back to Morrison. Chop. Forced wide, looking for Cameron. Has not got the angle of that right. Has Julian Chop. Going to be another chance for SD Raiders to run the seconds down in this one. Massive victory it'll be for the Moorebank-based side. Had wins over Manly United, Blacktown City, and a 1-0 win last week against St George. As I said earlier, they're second away from home. Cox Barlow. Hannigan happy to wait for options to present themselves. Hannigan Finds Marcic. Defended well by McNamara. Another throw for SD Raiders. SD Raiders doing what they can to make sure they can see out these 3 points. Hold the ball in the corner now. Cox Barlow. He's missed a shield off 2 Wanderers players. The third will come join the fun. And Hannigan will have his turn to try and hold the ball up. Wanderers do win it back. A chance now for them to break. Luell. Try and tap the ball into space. Luell. Defended well by McGrath. But Wanderers, sorry, SD Raiders don't necessarily agree with that call. Trying to hold the ball up for themselves, and Riley Cox-Barlow will go in his book. Franson. Now or never for Western Sydney Wanderers. Bit of an off-the-ball tussle there. Ball does come in. Pavlovic just can't quite get control, and it'll be flagged for offside. Julian Chop unknowingly.
That's 6, Red.
None the wiser that was going to be flagged. And his tumble into Figueroa means a little bit of afters, but Charlotte Flynn's quick to defuse the situation. Well, it looks like it is continuing between Chop and Malfara. Morrison coming over to break things up. Chop trying to walk away. Some of the conversations seem to be continuing around the field. Nothing too untoward, though. And for the Wanderers, may just be a bit of frustration that they can't work their way back into this. Free kick will come from Figueroa. Ramugo trying to get on the end of it. Chop unable to get the ball under control. Francis Ken deflected his side's way. McNamara with the clearance. Pavlovic wanting to bring this one down for his side. Chop gets the loose ball. And that is it here at Wanderers Football Park. And in SD Raiders celebrations, they're quick to get themselves around Julian Chop. And now things are starting to boil over and get a little bit unsavoury, a little bit needless from the SD Raiders players. They had seen the 3 points out. And luckily, there are several players on hand and staff members as well to make sure that situation is diffused. It doesn't look like any further bookings have been placed, and that will be that for the match here today. Referee's happy to walk away from the situation. One of the linesmen's just keeping an eye on things to make sure nothing does continue. But with that, it's the conclusion of this one here at Wanderers Football Park. Marty Fernandez brace means SD Raiders have a 2-1 victory at the home of Western Sydney Wanderers. Their first win over Western Sydney Wanderers in their history as their hot run of form continues. As Western Sydney Wanderers 1, SD Raiders 2. My name's Cody Ojeda. This has been NPL New South Wales action. And if you want more, well, Western Sydney Wanderers women's now face Manly United right after this. Same place, 5 o'clock. Be sure to check that one out. But other than that, I wish you a good night and a happy long weekend.
I've got my own there.
mentioned, we had just a little late start here. As we had the men's NPL match prior on number 6 here at Wanderers Football Park. Fortunately for the home side, they went down 2-1 to SD Raiders. So in the 20s. Wanderers had a 1-0 win over Manly United. Pete finds Tali. Heavy touch. But despite being half the size, out-muscled Emily Manette then. Got over halfway. Touch means the Wanderers will get the throw. Scramble for it. Fallen for Natali. Looking for Koshaba. Gilbane did well under pressure. Kenzie bring it under control. Sort of pushed to nowhere. On by Kushaba. No one really there for the Wanderers. Sinski's coming though. Gilbane. Nice little flick over the top. Zoran into the middle. It's worked out beautifully. Now, early ball. Stewart's. Oh, she's pulled it wide. Off to the left. But a nicely worked move there from Manly United. Disappointed with how that ended. Tali. Keep. Feet of Brzezinski. Turn it over on that far side. Fighting for there, Stewart. Now, is that a penalty? It is indeed. Zorda's been brought down. And the referee points straight to the spot. And that gives Manly United a wonderful opportunity to level things up here at Wanderers Football Park. Clearly the right decision. Will be the player brought down. Emily Manette with the opportunity. Manette versus Hall. Manette. Oh, she's put it wide. Oh, that's devastating for Manly. Slightly high and wide. More likely would have had beaten. Wanderers breathe a sigh of relief. goal kick. Over the heads of everybody. Stewart trying to find a way through traffic and wins the free kick. Trying to get through 4 Wanderers players there. It's worked out fortuitously for them. Another chance for Manly from a dead ball position. Straight towards the keeper. No issues whatsoever. That might be... No, it's not a goal kick. Sharba to Rosinski. Downfield from Natali. Flick on. Didn't find the mark though. Clapping in the background. Under 20s NPL match. Wanderers have just gone 2-0 up. And here is McKenzie. Into the middle. Shot comes on and it's just off to the left. Dangerous run down that right touch line. They nearly turned it into goal. Driva to restart us. Did well to get up and deservedly earns the free kick. Savannah Murray on the ball, the goal scorer. First of the year too. That's not dealt with Kashaba. No man's land. It's definitely a free kick. Yes, that's another goal for the Wanderers in the 20s men. It's like 3 in about 2.5 minutes. And we await the throw in. The free kick, should I say? Or the restart, either or. Can Manly find another way through? This defence has been pretty sturdy so far. Now, that's not a bad move. Again, the line of red and black shirts on the 18-yard. Keep, but that'll be out. Another throw. They slowly make their way up the field. Blocked by Mike Khalil that time. Just in line with the 18-yard. It's gone through everybody and disappointing finish. Just down by Fazari, who was being tugged at slightly there by Ava Roberts. Khalil. Oh, just out of the reach of Mackenzie. Headed away by Betro. Another Manly throw. Jackson seemed to miss that altogether. Oh, that's a tough one there. Murray has absolutely drilled that. No damage done. It's better for Manly. They need to move it quickly. Stewart. Oh, wonderful defence in the end from the Wanderers. Get the throw back. Well, that was Mackenzie, who's come back into defence there. An absolute cracking tackle on Stewart. Osborne. Oh, into Betro. And they've turned it over. Rosinski gets there. She's got pace. Fazari was at the far post. There she finds her. Touch to Kashaba. Kashaba with the first time. Touch and shot. Unfortunately straight at the keeper. No real force behind that. Manette couldn't get ahead to it. Carried away by Chelsea Barton. They won it back, and that's lovely for Manly. But the heavy touch sees Khalil sneak it. And pumps it left, where Fazari picks it up. Heads towards the middle. Oh, but Phoebe Gilbane, that was vital from her. Fazari didn't see her coming. Down the line. Emily Manette is offside. Didn't want to call it because it was tight. Will pumps it long. Got to be very, very careful with Alyssa McKenzie out there on the right. To Manly. It's over the head of Murray. Minette's coming in. The ball's not out, but it will be picked up. A little bit of gain some shit from Amy Hall. Murray. Oh, well done from Cabezas. Stewart couldn't keep it in on the far side of the field, the western side. See that last remnants of that orange sky in the background towards the Blue Mountains. Stewart. Annabelle Keep in front of her. Gets around Keep. Yeah, great square ball, but no one there. Zari was looking for Brzezinski. Good work from Grace Arnold. Well, they're certainly starting to camp themselves in the Wanderers' half these last 5 minutes, Manly United. But, as you know, Wanderers have got some pace through the likes of Alyssa McKenzie. Gets around Kasibas. Again, no one at the far post. Well, that'll result in a goal kick. Jodie Drever. Ends up going short. Bezos finds Smith. Osborne. Jackson under pressure. Now Kabizas has a little bit of space on the left. Oh, poor ball from Stewart. But Arnold does the job. Go long, probably not the right option, because that's given Phoebe Gilbane a little bit too much to do. She will win the ball. Roberts. Zorden. Nice one too. Play on. The referee thought about blowing the whistle. Khalil looking for the switch now. And McKenzie, who's on? Stewart's trekked back to assist Kabizas, but the ball into the middle. It's not a good one. Minette. Stewart down the line. It looked like she was looking for Emily Minette. But again, way out of reach for her. Head towards the back end of this first half. And how much are Manly going to rue that penalty miss later in the game? Mazzari still going. Koshaba into the middle. Fazari wanted to line up a shot. She gets the opportunity, but it's blocked. Koshaba. Oh, headed in. Yes, it is. Lovely worked play there from the Western Sydney Wanderers. And that's number 5 for the season now for Mackenzie. It's Western Sydney Wanderers 2, Manly United 0. And the last thing Manly wanted, last thing they wanted before half time. Gone long in desperation. Tussle here between Stewart brought down. No, says the referee. Khalil clears. It's over to the right here. Disappointing. Bazari. This way goes long. Stewart with a shot. Good effort. Hall parries it away. And the follow-up will go over for a goal kick. Amy Hall. You know where it's headed. Where all the players are. Metro did well under pressure. Kashaba. Looking for Zari. Couldn't find her. Strong tackle, but despite the claims from Chelsea Barton, it's a Manly ball. Gilbane with the throw. Zari couldn't keep it in. Line, but Barton clears first time, and she was claiming it got a touch. The assistant referee didn't agree. Gilbane. Just let that behind her. Shove it down the line. Rosinski's touch. It's intercepted by Gilbane. Oh, Rosinski pitches it. Tries to find McKenzie. Good. Despite the efforts of Cabezas, Wanderers won it back. Still Wanderers. Khalil. Annabelle Keep. Wins the throw for the Wanderers. Manly got to defend tightly here. Can't afford a third against them. Keep to Khalil. He's forced to go back into her own half. So McKenzie. Cabezas been fighting like a little terrier over there on the left for Manly United this evening. Shaba. Finds Fazari, first time touch. It's going to go into the area. Manly clear first time. Barton clears. Minette, unfortunately isolated up there. Keep for McKenzie. Somehow they've kept it there in that combination with Betro. And Murray. Sends it for Brzezinski. Arnold is there. Unfortunately, it's just out of my view. Looks like a Manly throw in here. A couple of metres from the corner flag. Oh, he wins it. Doesn't know where it went though. A bit of miscommunication, but they've kept it, Manly, through Anita Zorden. Osborne. Jackson on the turn. This is much better for Manly United. Gilbane's ball. Trabezis. Do find a ball into the middle. But it was a little high for, a little behind her for Emily Minette to get any force on that header. Ball's clearance. It's a decent one too. Prashaba. To Brzezinski. In fact, there's a couple of them that do look similar from behind. The three of the shorter players, indeed, for the Wanderers. All the way back is Gilbane forced to go. Arnold trying to create something from the back. No issues there. Khalil in conversation with Kashaba about just a slight miscommunication. They still have the ball, the Wanderers, and they have a nice 2-goal lead here at Wanderers Football Park. That was a sloppy challenge there. Plenty of other games going on today as the referee has a look at the watch. I mentioned there was one game last night. Sydney University 3 defeated Northern Tigers 2. Up here in the earlier game against Uni of New South Wales, we've got Illawarra against the Western City Rangers, Glazel Ravens and Bulls FC Academy. Oh, well out of a line, off a line by about 30 was Amy Hall, but no problems. Hills United and Spirit and Olympic and MacArthur Rams. That's the round 8 fixtures. McKenzie. Reaver. Now, can Manly win it? No. Strong from Chelsea Barton. Luckily for Manly, Ava Roberts was there to prevent any further damage, but that'll be half-time here at Wanderers Football Park. And it's the home side going into half-time with a 2-goal lead. Thanks to Savannah Murray and Alyssa McKenzie. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back in around 10 minutes' time with all the second half action live here from Wanderers Football Park.
You like that one? Adelaide's coming back in about 2 weeks from America. And she'll be played for about maybe 8 or 9 minutes with someone. Oh, I don't think so. Not here. They don't appreciate it enough here. So we'll go somewhere where she's appreciated. And then she'll head back and then they start the season over here in Texas. Oh yeah, she's still over a year and a half, 2 years to go. Yeah, college system. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it like see what happens with Trump today. Nice to see you. Thank you.
Yeah, I know. He's good man. He's been I'm sending it. Yeah, we're definitely well aware. Thank you so much for letting us know. I appreciate it. Yeah,
Thank you.
we're sending it, but it'll probably catch up to you in the week.
Okay. Thank you.
really enjoying it, eh? She's doing all right, eh? Anita. Yeah. I've seen some of her really good goals. Long distance. Never forget them though, those long ranges. Even at the Institute, she scored a couple of big long ranges. Yeah. Oh, too many of those, what you call crossbar challenges.